Yeah, let me know.
Okay. So welcome everyone to the Sacred Blue Tent, and happy birthday to our president, President Kennedy. We are honored and humbled to celebrate his 105th birthday together. And for today's show, we've got the tent team along with Negative 48. And Andrew, you also know him as VKM. And so we're going to have a really interesting, fun show. So let's start the celebration with a beautiful montage of JFK's amazing life. So Roxana is going to show that video right now.
Rise when I gave the world. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king's dead, long live the king. One minute I held the key. Next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle's stand upon pillars of sand, pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman Catholic choirs are singing. Meanwhile, mirror my soul and shield, missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain. Once you go, there was never alone. This world, that was when I ruled the world. It was the wicked and wild wind blew down the doors to let me in. The shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman Catholic choirs are singing. Meanwhile, remember my soul, shield of missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter will call my name, ever alone this world. But that was when I ruled the world. That was when I ruled the world.
William Wallace Lincoln was the son of Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd, and he was JFK's grandfather. Now, William Wallace Lincoln had three daughters, Mary, Gallia, and Saida, and one son. His only son was killed by the Italian military police in downtown Benghazi in 1942. His daughter Mary married a prince, originally from the Golan Heights. His name was Prince Said H. Isa Kalouni, and he was born in the orchards in the governorate of Mount Lebanon. He arrived in the port of Derna, Libya, in March of 1911, coming from the port of Beirut, Lebanon. They had two sons. The older son was born on July 25th, 1915, and the younger son, he was born on May 29th, 1917. They were known later in life as Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr. and John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States of America. The Kalouni family descends from an ethnic minority called the Druze, and they inhabit the Golan Heights. This family, originally from the towns of Kunatara and Majdal Shams in the Golan Heights, Israel, the town of Kalounia in Mount Lebanon, east of Beirut. The family tree of Isa Kalouni is very well known in Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. Isa means Jesus in Arabic. The daughter of William Wallace and the mother of JFK, whose name was Mary, gave birth to her son, John, on the 29th of May, 1917, 16 days after the first apparition of the Virgin Mary to the three children in Fatima, Portugal, on May 13, 1917. In 1917, Raoul Leclerc points out that when the Virgin Mary appeared in Cova da Iria, Portugal, on August 13, 1385, this country was then 777 years old. And 532 years later, that is, on May 13th, 1917, the first appearance of Our Lady of Fatima took place. As I said, JFK was born 16 days later on May 29th, 1917. Amazing. 16 days. 1 plus 6 is 7. Our Lady appeared 6 times to the Portuguese children, Francisco, Jacinta, and Lucia, asking for prayers for the sick, the sinners, and the children. And with her 6th and final apparition on October 13th, 1917, there were 70 to 100,000 people who witnessed the miracle of the sun. That is, the sun spun around in front of the crowd and approached the earth, illuminating the landscape with its bright light. Our Lady of Fatima also revealed 3 secrets. The first, a vision of the souls in hell. The second, the prediction of the end of World War I and the beginning of World War II, as well as a request to consecrate Russia as the motherland of Christianity. And the third, a vision of the Pope, along with his bishops, his priests, his religious and lay people, being killed by soldiers. If you remember, a statue of Our Lady of Fatima was also placed in the White House by President Trump and Melania Trump to bless their new administration. Now, many of us have been curious about a particular trait of JFK and Jr.'s that is sort of a tugging and concealing at times of their pinky fingers. Perhaps it's a nervous habit, but let's see. So if we could play video number 2, Abba Girl, we're going to get a taste of what it could be.
Movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. Our movement.
So what is Sabnik? Sabnik is the Atmumra King of Kings, the Orion Kings of Atlantis. Atmumra, the oldest dynasty on earth, is symbolized by Shwa-Unawaz, the Sword of Swords, forged by God for the chosen one, the Sabnik, the legitimate heir of the Atmumra throne. He is the Palladian Lord that mankind has been awaiting for 10,000 years. According to the Amplified Bible, Amos 5, chapter 8, he who made the cluster of stars called Pleiades and the constellation of Orion, who turns deep darkness into the morning and darkens the day into night, who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the surface of the earth. The Lord is his name. Sabnik is the real name of the Messiah. It is an assembly of three words from the first language. The word Sa means saint. The word Be means the. And the word Mik means one. He is the chosen one and defender of divine protection that makes life life. Sabnik represents the unsplit soul, that soul that is united with the universe and does not need anything. Sabnik woke up on Mount Noah, also known as Mount Ararat, Armenia, when Noah's Ark landed there after the deluge of Atlantis. This is Noah's prophecy. There are three recognition signs that denote an Orion king according to Noah's prophecy, but the first is the most notable for our story today. On the hand, the birth sign of all Orion kings is a sign that the chosen one was born with. It was made by the Orion fertilization, a genetically by his divine father's created line called the Ring of the True Kings, to make him recognizable among all others. True kings don't need a ring. They were born with one. JFK and Jr. have the ring of Orion on their finger. They tug and they conceal it to protect their true identity. They are the heirs of Sabnik, of Orion, of Atmumra, and of King Arthur's Camelot. This is why the Kennedy administration was known as Camelot. From Mrs. Jackie Kennedy, when Jack quoted something, it was usually classical, but I'm ashamed of myself. All I keep thinking of is the line from a musical comedy. At night, before we'd go to sleep, Jack liked to play some records, and the song he loved the most came at the very end of this record. The lines he loved to hear were, "Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known as Camelot." So if Abba Girl, you could play video 3, please.
It's true. It's true. The Crown has made it clear. The climate must be perfect for the year. A law was made a distant moon ago here. July and August cannot be too hot. And there's a legal limit to the snow here in Camelot. The winter is forbidden till December and exits March the 2nd on the dot. By order, summer lingers through September in Camelot. 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 I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but in Camelot, Camelot, that's how conditions are. The rain may never fall till after sundown. By 8 the morning fog must disappear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Camelot.
And I suppose the autumn leaves fall into neat little piles.
Oh, no, my lady. They blow away completely. At night, of course.
Of course.
Camelot! Camelot. I know it gives a person pause. But in Camelot, Camelot, those are the legal laws. The snow may never slush upon the hillside. By 9 p.m., the moonlight must appear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Camelot.
If you're struggling to lose weight.
Thank you. So now let's welcome Negative 48 and Andrew VKM to the tribute stage. Take it away, guys.
Well, you said some interesting things there. You had the that date 10/13/1917 when the sun,
Yeah.
Did its trip,
Spin around.
Yeah. So on that day, JFK was 137 days old. President JFK 137. And if you add the 16 days prior to that, before he was born, 137 and 16 is 153, which is Q. The other thing is, if you take his birthday, you go to the date calendar. Aubrey Girl, can you put that up for us? Can you put up the date calendar? Are you able to hear me?
Hi, Michael. Yes, what am I supposed to do?
Go to gematria.com.
1 second. Gematrix.com? It looks like it's down.
Gematrinator.com.
Okay, let me try that.
It's basically gematria, just minus the A and then
Yeah.
nader.
Okay, 1 second. Let me share the screen.
His birthday tells us about who he is. Everybody's born by the number. Everybody dies by the number.
Can you see the screen now?
Yeah. So under the guy's foot, the little guy's foot, hit tools, and then hit date durations. Type in his birthday on the left. So I just put 1917. And then put October 13th. (1917). And then if you look in there under the last number you just typed in, just looking it down there, it says total in each. Everybody can blow up their screen a little bit. Yeah, it says 137 days. President JFK. 137. But if you change the date over on the left, change that 29 to a 16 or 13, because 16 days prior was the event that now you have 153. But you also have 21 weeks, 6 days, 216. That's how many days are after his birthday. It's 216 days in the year after his birthday. Negative 48 is 216. Leaves 5 months, which is 5 is grace. And he's 153. He's Q, but we're all Q. That's why negative 48's there. But and of course mine is negative 48 plus negative 472 is 191. All roads lead to Q191. And then at the last rally, not yesterday but the day before, he he pointed at me and basically said real Q by saying, "You ever run for politics?" 306, which is 36, which is real. But right after he pointed to me, he pointed to Kelly Heath really fast. He pointed to me and then her. And Kelly Heath is 107, which is 17, which is Q. So real Q, 53, and 48 and 472, 53. But there was more to that, but we'll just stick with the show here, what's going on here. But those dates you gave, and you said 777 years later. Well, 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 343. And,
unbelievable.
And then you have, let's go put his date back, his birthday back on the left, 5/29, 1917. Put the 29 there. And then go to the bottom. Go to the bottom on the left-hand side. Yep, go down, keep going. Okay. So the blue numbers at the bottom say 5,670. And that's the date. You just times it. 5 times 2 times 9 times 1 times 9 times 7 times, or 1 times 7 is 5,670. The only difference between the top and the bottom is a 9. So 630 is 10% of what both of them total. So if you add those two numbers together, you're going to get 6,300. Well, 63 is divine, and 100 is 74 Jesus, divine Jesus. But divine Jesus, 63 and 74, is 137. President JFK, 137. Just like when he came out 3 times now, Trump no tie, 151. Jesus Christ, 151. Because J. Kennedy, 88. Trump, 88, same thing. Because he's just using masks, which Andrew's going to have fun with you today in the mask program. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Yeah, but can you hear me okay, first of all?
Oh, he's first. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Good. All right, so I got a 137 for you first. You dropped a couple 137s, right? And we're talking about JFK's birthday. And, there is a place where they say JFK was born, and that was in Brookline, Massachusetts. And the address there is 83 Beals Street. 83 Beals Street is 137. So, bada boom.
Yeah. And so when you take 11 off, because that's what 8 and 3 is, you have 126. You have, in the beginning and the end, A is 1, Z is 26, which is, loving force or nasty John. Depends on if you're on his good side or his bad side, is 126. And the 8 and 3 is 11, which is 2, because he's number 2. But his birthday right there in the yellow numbers, he was born on the 149th day of the year with 216 days left. 149, the anointed one. 14 and 9 is 23. 2 and 3 is 5. 23 is I am. Me times 2 are together. I am there. That's 23. 5 is known as grace in the Bible. And 235 is Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 235, President John Kennedy. 235. And 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, the number of man. The anointed one, man. Think me, or man, then the anointed one. But 216 is negative 48. Because everything about me is him, and everything about him seems to be me. Let's go up to the top of the date calendar. Let's change the left side to October 28th, 2017. So the right side won't matter much. So let's go down and look at the left-hand side. That's the start of the storm. That's the 301st day of the year. But 23 days earlier was 10/5, which is the 278th day of the year. So let's go to the top and change it. 10/5. Just take the 28 out. Now they tax us on the 105th day of the year. They tax when they make it. They tax when they spend it. Keep that 10/5 there visible. Yeah. So, because they're trying to kill the American Dream. American Dream 105, but the year was 17. American Dream Q is 122, the day of Junior's plane crash. 7/16/99, 122. JFK Jr. lives 122. So, if you go down to the bottom, this is the day Trump had in the Roosevelt room. He had all the military generals next to him. And he said, maybe what you're looking at is the calm before the storm. He made him say it 3 times. What storm, Mr. President? What storm, Mr. President? What storm, Mr. President? Well, what storm, Mr. President equals 278 on the 278th day of the year. And what's left over is 87, which is truth. JFK Truth 114, Trump card 114, because JFK is the truth and he is the Trump card. He is the Trump card of all Trump cards. And down at the bottom, you can times the date and the blue numbers. You get 70 and 35, which is 105, Savior 105, Triumph 105, J. Kennedy Q 105, American Dream 105. But you said King Arthur of Camelot.
Indeed. Correct? Yep.
Okay. Well, let's go to the gematria calculator. Yeah, just hit back arrow or something like that. Okay, in the white box, type in King Arthur of Camelot. Now, there's a lot of great 217s. Obviously, 91 is POTUS. 107 is Superman. 194 is Blackout Necessary, but it was 19 months, 4 days, or 19 weeks, 4 days to get to that 137 days on that earlier date we looked at. But now you got to put the red tie in front of King Arthur or JFK Grace. JFK Grace, King Arthur of Camelot. Because that's what the red tie says. So in front of King, type in JFK Grace. 278. What storm? Mr. President, 278. That's 125 John Kennedy. That's 154. I am the chosen one, 154. It's 27 letters, 6 words right there below the 278. Just right there in the corner. You put your little pointer there so everybody can see it. Up a little higher. No, up higher. Above JFK Grace. Right above JFK Grace. Not at the top one, the second one. Right there. 27 letters, 6 words. Right above where it says JFK Grace in parentheses, or in quotes. So 27 letters right there. 27 letters, 6 words. 96, which is whiplash. 96, which is law and order, because Trump ran on law and order. Or 276. Kennedy's greatest comeback ever, 276. It was all picked out a long time ago. That's why I told everybody the end date's already been picked.
Yeah.
It's already picked.
We just don't know when it is. I've got a couple of ancient Atmumro dynasty, which we know now to be Atlantis.
Speak for yourself on the date.
Ancient Atmumra dynasty is 261. John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. 261. The United States of America 261. Number of a man, Donald Trump 261. He who created the universe 261. Keep your eye on the prize 261. The 1,000-year plan 261. The lion is soon to roar 261. That was pretty amazing.
Well, how about if we try President Jesus Christ 260? How about if we try American Badass President? American Badass Jesus Christ 261. How about if we try Drain the Swamp American Badass 261?
How about John F. Kennedy 131, Orion Kings 131, Make America Great 131.
Well, I was trying that 261 though.
I know, I'm jumping around. We're out of practice.
Excellent Moab 131.
Gemini Messiah 131.
Yeah, the chosen one 131.
Don J. Trump 131.
Alpha and the Omega 131.
Paradigm Shift 131.
Yeah. Human Jesus 131.
A Great Sword 131.
Negative 48 solves JFK 131.
Ascended Master 131.
Oh, we could go with Hey Mama 131.
How about David and Goliath 131?
Led Zeppelin, yeah. The Chosen One 131. The Idiot Box 131. That's not the Chosen One, people, but the Idiot Box 131.
A White Horse 131.
DC Swamp Going 131.
Belt of Orion 131.
JFK and negative 48 are real men, 131.
10 Kingdoms, 131.
Negative 48 is POTUS, 131.
Jesus Rose, 131.
Hey, I'm just doing my own here. Let me.
You're
see
doing good. I have them written down.
Ons need yes. No, that's me. I'll take that back. I think it's the Ons need 131.
Okay, I need one more. The Lord's Day, 131.
That's right, 131. That's what the because that's right, it's 130 of the Kennedys. That's right, 131.
So, since you brought this up, I did find a really short video because it is important, the miracle of the sun. And it could have been the way that our Lord was prophesizing the birth of JFK 16 days later, which is 7. So if you guys are cool with it, I would love to play this because not everyone knows what the miracle of the sun was. And it was the miracle that Our Lady of Fatima was asked to provide basically a miracle for proof. And this is what happened that day, which again was May 13th, 1917, 16 days prior to the birth of JFK. So Roxana, do you have that one?
Yes, 1 second.
Great, thank you.
World War I promised us a perpetual peace, and it failed.
In the spring of 1917, in the countryside of Fatima, Portugal, the Blessed Virgin Mary first started appearing to 3 young shepherd kids. Lucia dos Santos, Francisco and Jacinta Mato each day had to take care of a flock of sheep owned by their family. One day, as they were looking after their sheep, they suddenly saw a bright flash of something like lightning, followed quickly by another flash in the clear blue sky. They looked up and they saw a lady clothed in white, brighter than the sun, radiating a light more clear and intense than a crystal cup filled with sparkling water lit by burning sunlight. She said, "Continue to come here every month. In October, I will tell you who I am and what I want, and I will perform a miracle for all to see and believe." Lucia wanted to keep this apparition a secret, but Jacinta, the one who is known to be more talkative, could not keep this secret and told her family when she got home. Now, as the word on the street grew of the Blessed Mary ever Virgin appearing to the 3 young kids, naturally, not many believed them. But the thing was, every time they got interrogated, the stories matched up perfectly and they seemed to be telling the truth. A great curiosity grew amongst the people, and they were waiting for the day of October the 13th, when Mary said she would perform a miracle. On the eve of the 13th, a huge storm washed over the mountain country of Fatima. But despite this, tens of thousands of people made their way to the cova, where Our Lady said she would perform the miracle. When the 13th day had come, the weather turned bad again, and heavy rain started to fall. Again, Mary appeared to Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. Lucia asked, "What do you want?" She said, "I want to tell you that a chapel is to be built here in my honor. I am the Lady of the Rosary. Continue always to pray the Rosary every day. The war is going to end, and the soldiers will soon return to their homes." And as Lucia explained, Mary then got very sad and said, "Do not offend the Lord our God anymore, because he is already so much offended." Then, opening her hands, she made them reflect on the sun, and as she ascended, the reflection of her own light continued to be projected on the sun itself. After she disappeared, the people then witnessed the great miracle which had been predicted. The miracle which is known today as the miracle of the sun. The dark rain clouds broke and the sun appeared as a spinning disk in the sky. It was said to be significantly duller than normal and to cast multicolored lights across the landscape. the people and the surrounding clouds. The sun was then reported to have sped towards the Earth before zigzagging back to its normal position. Witnesses reported that their previously wet clothes became suddenly and completely dry, as well as the wet and muddy ground that had been previously soaked because of the rain that had been falling. One of the eyewitnesses, Dominic Reis, later said they looked as though they had just come back from the cleaners. The miracle is reported to have been seen from as far as 15 to 25 miles away, thus ruling out the possibility of any type of collective hallucination or mass hypnotism. Doubters and skeptics of the kids' apparitions and of Catholicism had now become believers.
That's incredible, isn't it, Negative? And 16 days later, JFK was born.
Yes. What's amazing is that we get to sit back and ride our butt cheeks while you do all the work and do massive amounts of beautiful work.
Oh, it's just beautiful. I hope everyone realizes how beautiful connecting the dots and creating this story is for everyone. And that's why, Fatima was so important to put in the White House, because they exercised that White House and they brought in Our Lady of Fatima. And when you're speaking of dates, October 13th is pretty apparent in my mind. I know you can't tell us, but that would be an interesting date.
It's long before that.
Oh, this is just such a beautiful story. And I would look at the miracle of the sun now differently, knowing that JFK was born 16 days later, that was prophecy. That was the coming of the Messiah. It was saying that the war would end. She highlighted Mother Russia as being the hub of Christianity. And she did say that the Pope and all of his minions would be killed by soldiers. Future proves past.
Yeah. Because JFK said some stuff. He said, "I told you so," 155. Excellent trap, 155. J. Kennedy lives, 155. He always pays 155. Excellent boss, 155. Hey, Andrew, I know you got some pretty interesting stuff. We had a little bit of help on our end. We did a little digging too, because Jason knew about what we were talking about. He never said anything to anybody. And then Tracy and Kelly started doing some digging. So it'll be interesting to see what we find here.
Yeah. There's it's coded everywhere.
I know.
And
I know we told everybody. I told everybody here. I said, "You guys, wait till you see this show that we're going to do on Sunday. At the Sacred Blue Tent. It's going to blow your mind."
Yeah, every day that goes by, especially the last couple weeks, it's just been like a flood of things that I never even knew. Just things coming out of the woodwork, old videos, old matches. I just found another one with our buddy Umaga. He actually defeated a wrestler, Kamala. So
the big black.
Yeah. Dude. Yep. Yeah, they brought Kamala out of retirement in what year? 2007 to lose to Umaga.
I said it was years ago, was it? It was before we were in the first year of the storm. And I told my wife the election was going to be this was before the election. That's right. It was the first year of the storm. So I said this next election is going to be between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. It's a black, white, man, woman thing. Of course, Joe's dead. before the election. He never said that if, Kamala Harris was dead or not. So who knows?
Well, I knew it was going to be Kamala because 3 days before she was selected as the vice presidential candidate, the wrestler Kamala died.
On paper, right?
Yeah, he died. It's 3 days. 3 days before, and as soon as I saw that name in the news, I said, "Oh, I know exactly who is going to be the VP."
That's when you got Vincent Kennedy McMahon running the show and knows all the info. Anybody following the WWE can put some things together once they know, the story I told. Then, of course, that was quite the story that Sabrina Gal kind of started telling. I was telling it, she was telling it, and she started coming on my show, and we just had very few people. And she was telling this story that I said, hey, let's call it the $5 Benghazi story, because Abraham Lincoln's on the $5 bill. He's money, and our president's money, and he was born in Benghazi, and so we would say it just to keep it under code. Nobody ever knew what the $5 Benghazi story was. We called it, and she would just keep telling it and telling it. She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, tell it again, tell it again." We just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and we just did it over and over and over again, and it just got better and better. She'd find more stuff, and I'd throw some more codes in there, and boom, we made the Jesus strand.
Well, and actually, that's a perfect segue because you invoked Abraham Lincoln and Sabrina Gal. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was a badass, nearly undefeated professional wrestler?
I did not. Tell us. Do tell.
Yeah, he had a record of 300 wins, at least 300 wins, and only through a span of I can't remember, is it a 12-year career or 18-year career? Either way, throughout that time, one loss ever. And in 1992, he was actually inducted into the National Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame as an outstanding American. So it turns out there's actually a lot of wrestlers who used to be, presidents that used to be wrestlers. Not anymore. But, my favorite was William Howard Taft. He was a wrestler. Now, everybody knows he's a big guy. And his wrestling name, it's perfect. It was Big Bill. So Big Bill, not only was Big Bill a wrestler, he was a fourth-generation wrestler. So Big Bill's daddy wrestled. His granddaddy wrestled.
How tall was he, though? Because Lincoln, I'm seeing, was 6'4". Very lanky, though. He didn't look like he's lanky and tall, but I guess incredibly strong.
Yeah, well, Taft, nobody could take him down. He's just cannonball. So and it's George Washington. He was a wrestler. He actually had a championship. They called it colony-wide championships. Crazy stuff. I'm reading about this stuff. I'm saying, my God, George Washington. When he was 47, he was wrestling all the way up until he was 47. I think he became president at 57. And his last kind of run as a wrestler, he defeated 7 Massachusetts Volunteers consecutively.
This is fantastic.
At 47 years old. So, I won't go through all of them, but Teddy Roosevelt was one. Andrew Jackson, who was always in Trump's office, right? Zachary Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, Calvin Coolidge, Chester A. Arthur. But, I mentioned Abe Lincoln was inducted into the National Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And he was the only he was the only president inducted into the Hall of Fame. But there is another Hall of Fame, and that's the WWE Hall of Fame. And there is a president that's in that Hall of Fame, and that is Donald J. Trump.
That's right. Well, and here's a fact. I don't know if you knew this, Andrew, but I think Negative's going to like it. Abraham Lincoln was known for his skill in wielding an axe, and early made a life splitting wood for fire and rail fencing. So that's where we get -48. What do we know about the axe?
Well, you tell me.
Well, weren't they throwing it? Used to tell us something about throwing axes.
Well,
the competition, remember?
There's a competition in throwing axes, but I've done a little bit of it, but obviously the Indians did a lot of it. They threw tomahawks, which were axes. But my name N48 N472 is 53. Big Bill 53. The mirror reflection of 35. Full reduction is 35. Reverse is 136. Great Awakening 136. Full reduction is 46. Who or best or hero. And keypad is 26, which is God, which is N4. 8 is 26. And 7 letters, 2 words, 72. Bullet 72. Big Bill 53. Abraham Lincoln's wrestling name. BB. B2, Maggot 22. 22 spelled out as 165. Anointed Winner 165. You have Resurrection 165. There was a 165 I was doing earlier, but I didn't save it.
Well, -48. You remember Abe Lincoln's famous trash talking line he used to throw at his opponents?
Oh, you told me, but go ahead. I'll let you do the honors.
It's, I'm the big buck of this lick. Which coded out comes out to 222. That's a fun one.
Yeah. There's some 222s I've been coming up with lately. And some of them, that's what Donald Trump said when he walked off the golf course on January 28th. It's still 10/28. That's when it started. The last Q drop was on 12/08. Mousetrap 128 that Johnny Knoxville used at WrestleMania 38 to take out his opponent because everything's just stupid coded. Patience is genius, sir. 222. The greatest magic trick. 222. A JFK bullet. Let it whip. 222. Most consequential. 222. The world's angel is MVP. 222. International bankers. 222. Truth, fake news. Michael 222. Michael, truth. That's not fake news. I am JFK Grace. Truth, Michael 222. JFK Grace is everything. 222. JFK Grace is 48. 222. Yes, I am everything. Q 222. That's a fact, Bronson. 222. The right time is now. 222. JFK shows perfection. 222. Who is ABC 123 again? He's pissed. 222. You behind the curtain. 222. Most high Protsman. 222. Trump train bullet. 222. Yeah. Hold your head up high. Q 222. John is excellent. 222. force is unleashed on 11/26/1963/222. John is unleashed. That was after 4 days of darkness. John is unleashed on 11/26/1963/222. Starts so lovely. 222. Yeah. There was one I did earlier. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, do you have that wrestling video that you sent me with the the announcer that was always doing the beer commercials?
Yeah. So this is another one I've never seen before till today. But essentially, it's the year is 1989, and Sabrina Gal, I don't know if somebody can pull it off the 4VKM chat, but I think I put it up there this morning. It's like an old film type of deal. Maybe you can share it.
Abba Girl, do you think you can do that?
So they have, essentially Jesse Ventura, who's another one of my favorites. People know him.
Who was the governor of Minnesota?
He was the governor of Minnesota. He worked for Vince McMahon's father. He worked for Vince. He had a rocky relationship on and off with Vince, but he also wrote a book about JFK titled "They Shot My President." You'd like that, Protzman, right?
Yeah.
And
they did.
What?
Oh, in the kill box, always put "they" in the kill box. Like when Trump said, that reporter said to Trump, he said, "Hey, Michelle wrote a book. And she said she's never going to forgive you for your birther comments." And Trump goes, "Oh, I didn't know she wrote a book. Every time they want you to write a book, that means the swamp, because they're going to pay you for being a good little soldier." And they buy 400,000 copies and they put on the New York bestsellers list right out of the gate so everybody can buy it and get indoctrinated. Every time they want you to write a book, they always want you to say something controversial. Well, I'll give you a little controversy. I'll never forgive him for what he did to our U.S. military. And then he talks some more about that. He came back twice and said, "I'll never forgive him for what he did." So he set it up perfectly with, "I'll give you a little controversy." Called Michelle a dude. Right in front of those 10-foot boom mics that Biden waves his hand through.
Andrew, that was 28, right? Episode 28?
No. Oh, sorry. This is it's not on the chat. It's in, I'm sorry. It's in the chat, not the channel.
Oh, okay. So it's not Vincent Kennedy, Ultra UMAGA Unmasked.
No, it's not one of my videos. It's,
okay. Because Abba Girl's looking for it.
Let me see if I can send it to you. All right, let's see. All right, Sabrina Gal, I just sent it to you there.
Perfect.
Cool. So Jesse Ventura also, he hosted the show on television called Conspiracy Theories. So he's been all over it, Jesse Ventura. And, the funny thing about all of that show, Vince's show, Ventura also worked with the XFL when Vince did the football league. He was a commentator. He was actually doing that while he was the governor. And he got some flack for it, but it was the weekend. It was his off day, and, he made it work. So like I said, they had a real good relationship. Now, funny thing is that if you see this clip, it's about masks, right? So Ventura is wrestling a masked wrestler. On commentary, you have John Madden, who just passed away. and you have Vince McMahon, who is commentator for the WWF at the time, and they're fighting, and Ventura is, he rips the mask off, and it was Bob Uecker underneath, the famous baseball announcer. So they have Bob Uecker underneath, and actually Bob Uecker is in the WWE Hall of Fame also. And so they reveal Bob Uecker, and then Jesse Ventura takes his mask off, and he turns out to be a NFL player. I think it was L.C. Greenwood, I think was his name. And then, Vince McMahon looks at the camera and he goes, "And I'm not Vince McMahon," and he rips his mask off, and it's Sonny Bono. Now, when I saw Sonny Bono, I immediately was like, "Whoa, Sonny Bono! Did he have something to do with the Kennedys? What did he have to do with the Kennedys?" And I'm looking, and I thought maybe he was married to a Kennedy or something like that. And then I figured out what it was. The memories were blurred, because if you want to talk about a coincidence, you probably remember when Sonny Bono passed away. It was a skiing accident. He skied and ran into a tree, and
he ran into a ski riblet.
A ski riblet.
The same as the guy that was in the movie Taken, or his daughter gets stolen in the movie Taken. Liam Neeson, his wife, who played in Made in Manhattan. She died also from running into a ski riblet.
So it was Michael Kennedy, RFK's son, who hit the tree then. And that was just 5 days before Sonny Bono did. So that's why when I saw Sonny Bono underneath the mask, I thought Kennedy, because, that many years ago, both those events happened within 5 days of each other.
Hey, Andrew, I'm sorry to bother you. Can you send it to Abba Just having problems finding your DM for some reason. So if you could just send it directly to Abba Girl, ABBAS Girl. Thank you. Did we lose you guys? Negative? Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I sent your phone. I sent it to Pam here. I'm sending it to her phone. Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, you have to be an admin to be able to play it. That's the issue.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We were trying to make him an admin, but for some reason. What's that?
We can play it here a little bit too.
Oh, okay, awesome.
But yeah, Andrew, I sent it to you on your telephone.
I got it. Okay. I got it sent to Abba's Girl.
Awesome. Hopefully that'll work. I'm sorry. We're having phone issues today.
So Sonny Bono behind the mask.
Andrew, I got the link to the channel, but not the video.
It should be about 4 or 5 up. Let's try that. I thought that was the video. 7:25 this morning. It's bright and early. And actually, that should have been the link. It should bring you. It should be in the middle of the page. It's like an old time, 80s looking movie. And when I saw this,
what's the title?
There's no title. Timestamp is 7:25. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 posts up from the bottom. 7:25 a.m. 14-second video in the 4VKM chat. Well, a little longer than that many seconds, actually longer than that, but everything else was right. Oh, and it looks like it's on the -48 chat right now. If you go to the -48 channel, it's right on the bottom there.
Okay, I see that one. Let me play it from there.
Superstar Billy Graham is in the video too. If you're looking at the channel, he's got the mustache. Here we go. Boom.
Okay, here we go.
Hard to believe we're winning. Hold it. Thank you. Just going for the match. Wow, the old mask trick. You're still using it. Who is this guy? Oh, look out. Oh, this is it, John. Quiet. It's the Joker. Gee, what a surprise. Hi, John. Wait, it's not over yet. Jesse is really Elsie Greenwood. What a makeup job. And I'm not Vince McMahon. Oh, here's Sonny Bono. Hi, everybody. Sonny Case Brave has won.
I love that. I just love how happy Sonny Bono is when
he does look happy. Hopefully he's alive, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
and
yeah.
Liam Neeson's wife, Richardson, Natasha, was it Natasha Richardson? Yeah. Hopefully she's alive. Do you know Negative?
Yeah, I do. And that's the name. I don't know.
Natasha. Yeah, she's the daughter, actually, of the lady in Camelot, Vanessa Redgrave.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's her daughter. So does that mean Liam is a good guy?
Well, I'm not sure. I've never looked into that, so I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of the Liam Neeson fans, I'm sure, here, including me and Sturdy.
I do have some new info on the wrestling of Abraham Lincoln that we looked up.
Oh.
Because we looked up the longitude and latitude, since Trump's doing all that communicating at all these rallies. I mean, you really think he's having these rallies in the middle of nowhere to get people? No, he's not. He's not worried about the numbers of people. He's worried about the numbers and what it's saying to me or anybody else that codes all the longitude and latitude and the dates and stuff. And so that's why there's such a thing as a date calendar on the gematria calculator, the web's greatest, gematria calculator. So the longitude and latitude, if you round them up, of Abraham Lincoln's match in Salem, Illinois, New Salem, Illinois, was 40, which is IMQ, and 91, which is POTUS. IMQ POTUS, which is 131. We were doing 131 the other day, and there's your 131. Top that one.
I got nothing on that. Sabrina Gal, you said got some more 131s that could top that?
No, she doesn't have one.
No, I don't. Where's Lisa Marie? She probably does. She's faster.
So we have the other information that the girls looked up, and here's Tracy to give the details.
All right. He fought a guy by the name of Jack Armstrong, and he was strong as a Russian bear. And the name of the group he came from was Clary Grove Gang. And there was a habit, every time somebody new came to town, they would initiate them and they would have a fight. So that's why he fought Lincoln. Jack Armstrong was his name.
It was Jack Armstrong. I don't remember. Was that the one that beat him?
Yes. Actually, Lincoln beat him, but they said it goes back and forth with some of the stories. Sometimes they say Jack won and sometimes they say that Lincoln won, but I stick with the story the Lincoln won.
Well, it's so funny. This is how ridiculous the fake news and the fact checkers are. I think I remember hearing about Abe Lincoln being a wrestler like years ago as a kid, but it's like a little footnote. And, but I recall that more recent years because there's a meme, and it was a meme of Abe Lincoln with the WWE Championship over his shoulder, and it basically said, "Did you know, Abe Lincoln was a great wrestler," and all this stuff. And so Snopes fact checks it, and this is how I find it. So Snopes fact checks it. It says, "Was Abe Lincoln a successful wrestler and trash talker?" And so I go on, I'm like, well, what are they going to say here? I just read all these articles that said it. And they say, yes, he was a wrestler. He was a trash talker. They gave it a mixture rating. They couldn't even give it a true rating. They had to give it a mixture rating because they said the meme was fake. Well, no shit. Abe Lincoln wasn't alive in the 2000s where they had that WWE Championship. Obviously, the meme was fake. But any way that they could use to kind of, get people to not even look at it, you just have to discourage. It's very sad. These people are sick. They can't even let us have our memes about Abe Lincoln and belt.
Yeah, so we have negative 48 plus negative 472 is 191. All roads to lead to Q191. Excellent. POTUS 191. That wrestling match was in New Salem, Illinois, 191.
They said that Lincoln was looking for somebody to fight Jack Armstrong because nobody could beat him, and so they're going to charge everybody $10.
$10 back then was a crap load of money.
And so when Jack showed up, nobody was there, so Lincoln fought him instead. And Lincoln was so gangly and had long, arms and legs, so he wrapped his legs and arms around him, and basically he beat him like that.
Well, and it's funny is that even back then they tried to discredit wrestling. You can find in some of the elections that he had before he became president, they would kind of his political opponents would use that, just like how they did Linda McMahon when Linda McMahon was running for Senate in 2010 and 2012. They smeared her and they used professional wrestling. They didn't so much with Trump. I guess they had enough material that they had created. That they didn't need his pro wrestling history, but they've always used pro wrestling. It's funny; it's always been shunned upon in terms of a form of entertainment, even when you're talking about networks and the way they view the wrestling audience in terms of demographics and spend and income and all this stuff. Advertising firms don't look kindly onto wrestling audiences. Anybody that was a wrestling fan growing up or even today, guarantee you that they interacted with people who would say, "Oh, it's fake, right?" And then we grow up and we realize, well, it's all fake. And then you find out about 4BKM and you say, holy shit, the wrestling was actually the only real shit out there. So, it's funny how it all works out. But they would use Abe Lincoln's pro wrestling history as an attack on him. But as he matured and got experienced, he started using it as a badge of honor, and he was a man's man. And as a result, by the time he became president, he was respected for being a pro wrestler. And I don't know if it's pro. I don't know if we can call it pro, but
can we go back to the gematria calculator and type something in? And we had. Well, you were doing the real news, and then you had the Protsmanian death cult leader of Dallas, Texas, doing the news, the real news. But then you had the professor, Clements, come on Sabrina Gal's show a week or so ago, and he said that the Sacred Blue Tent, it's a news outlet, which that doesn't even rhyme. It doesn't even go right. The Sacred Blue Tent is a news outlet, but he had a extra T in there. T is 20, 20's 107 Superman. And it's a news outlet is 203. But it's a JFK Grace outlet, 203. So he confirmed what I said like 6 months ago when I told Sabrina Gal that they're all coming, the biggest, names in this movie. The girls and the boys are back in town, and they're coming to the tent. And the professor confirmed that because that's John, by the way, for those that don't know. And he said the Sacred Blue Tent, it's a news outlet. Sacred Blue Tent, it's a JFK Grace outlet, which means he's going to be using it. Future proves past. I said a lot of things come true. You'll find out.
I was wondering if John liked wrestling, if he liked the WWE. But it's funny. The last episode of George Magazine, while he was still around, we'll call it the July 1999 episode, you had pro wrestling right on the front. You had on the cover, it said, you had Salma Hayek on the cover, and it said pro wrestling's populist message and why it should be ignored, something along that line. And then in the inside, there's a message that warns politicians, go ahead, ignore pro wrestling at your own peril. It's in the July 1999 George Magazine.
We're going to put that up on the Negative 48 channel, the cover of the magazine. So in your gematria calculator, go ahead and erase that message there that's on the screen, Abigail. And let's type in let's type in what we're going to type in. We were going to type in something a second ago. Oh, we were going to do not New Salem, Illinois. We were going to do something else. It had to do with wrestling. Shoot. Let's type in this. Type in Sacred Blue Tent news outlet. Or no, the Sacred Blue Tent news outlet. Do that. The Sacred Blue Tent, which is 182. Junior, the start 182 was set on drop 1082. Oh, 336. We're going to do what they say can't be done, 336. You're witnessing the last dance, 336. You're witnessing Michael and JFK Grace, 336. The Sacred Blue Tent news outlet, 336. I had a message on there a second ago. What was it? The one before.
That was it.
There was one before. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. It was the Clary Boys. What was that? The Clary Grove Boys. So type that in. Clary, Clary. And actually scrap the word the. Sorry on that part. And then put Grove, Grove, and then Boys. 187. They stole our country in 1871. 187 times 1, 187. Trump's using the Insurrection Act of 1807. 0 means nothing, 187. He won the election on 11-8 against Hillary. 11 times 8 is 88. Jay Kennedy, 88. And he finally got to come out on 11-9 and speak. And 11 times 9 is 99 most high. Jay Kennedy most high, 187. On that night, when he came out on 11-9, his first 15 words to the public, and 115 is, well, art of the deal, 115, key code of God, 115, Trump, JFK, 115. He said, thank you very much, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business, complicated, 1,087. And then he changed his face to Punisher. Well, American Badass 110, because he's not the president. He wasn't then. Everybody thought he was, but he wasn't. So President 110, American Badass 110, he's changed it to Punisher 110. But Punisher represents death. And when he said the best is yet to come, 228, the best is 79, which is gold on the periodic table. Well, death is 38, and GOLD equals 38. Gold is yet to come, 187. But since it's 38, it really means the 19th president and the 19th vice president is coming. Because in 1871, we had our 18th president, our 18th vice president. We never had our 19th and 19th. So the boys are back in town, and they're number 19 and number 19. Clary Grove Boys, 187. His name is Seth Rich, 187. He's not dead either. We have everything. We have 48. We have blood. Blood is 48.
I threw over on the negative 48 channel there the excerpts from that 1999 George magazine if you want to throw it on the Sacred Blue tent chat. But if you take a look at it, on the inside article there, the little blurb that they leave there, I love this, writes, God, Country, and Professional Wrestling by Neil Gabler. The comic book world of professional wrestling is more soap opera than sport, but there's nothing fake about its message. Outsiders can band together, battle authority, and give the world the finger. Politicians ignore at your own peril.
And of course, on that page above, the referee, Stone Cold Steve Austin, they have the number 82. Way back in the day, I used to say John McCain ain't no maverick because he thought he was a maverick. But he died before he turned 82 because he ain't no maverick. And 82 is more special than most people realize. They'll find out in a little bit. Couple weeks, couple more weeks, couple more weeks on top of that. They'll find out. So, God, Country, and Professional Wrestling, 418, 41 key, 8 infinite key, 41 and 8, 49 yes. 4 and 18 is 22 MAGA. Yeah. And then on the cover of that magazine, the Selma High version, it says God, Country, and Goldberg. And God, Country, and Goldberg is 212. The address to Mama Gum's restaurant. 212 is Jesus Christ, JFK Grace. Pete Steiner 115, the Anointed 115. And when I drove through Montana from west to east, that place is so stupid coded. Continental Divides, exit 233. Wow, I didn't know that, 233. The Biden administration, 233. And it's just amazing that they have a Highway 212 that I've been on before. It's a pretty interesting highway.
Well, funny thing about Goldberg, a couple things with him is to start, he had an undefeated streak, and he got that streak up to 107 wins. He was at 107-0 when he got his world championship match against Hollywood Hogan. He won at 108-0. But around the same time, 1998, this was 1998. This was a year later. Goldberg's on top of the wrestling world and his company. And this magazine's out. But that prior year, 98, Goldberg was going on Leno a lot. In 99 also. You also had John was on Leno as the mystery guest on what is called the biggest night in television, the Seinfeld series finale on NBC. There's that NBC again. And you had, the Seinfeld series finale, and then Seinfeld's going to kick off Leno as the opening guest. And then they're advertising a mystery guest for who's going to come on after Seinfeld on the biggest night in television. And it was John, to everybody's surprise and delight. And he says some interesting things in there. But so you have Goldberg, Leno. Leno's doing some wrestling stuff in 98. John's doing some wrestling stuff. John's doing some Seinfeld stuff. He had something to do with the Seinfeld episode. And it's just all kind of connected there. And then fast forward, Goldberg was on. He ended up going to the WWE, had a short run, left after a year, and then, did a couple different things on NBC, some car shows and whatnot. And then he was on The Apprentice, also on NBC. So with Donald Trump, and there's a funny clip of Trump really giving it to him because he got tired working in the kitchen or something like that. He's this big, strong guy, and Goldberg says, "Oh, I almost passed out." And Trump goes, "Oh, you almost passed out? You almost passed out, Goldberg. Goldberg almost passed out." And then Goldberg backtracks right away. He just breaks down like a big tough Goldberg, and then he's just like, "Oh no, I didn't mean that. No, I wasn't really gonna pass out." So it's funny stuff, but so it's all through there.
Who was the wrestler that went 107 and then took on
Goldberg.
Hulk Hogan? So Goldberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan return match in 2022 revealed on May 23rd, 2022. You know anything about that?
No, but I know Ric Flair is having a return match in 2022.
They reported that the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, WWE Hall of Famer and 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, had been looking to lace up the boots one more time. The encounter is set to take place at a specialty professional wrestling card. Jim Crockett Promotions presents Ric Flair's last match, and was originally set. Somebody code that. Ric Flair's last match was originally set up to go down against one of Flair's most legendary opponents in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. However, Steamboat has since declined his participation from the event card entirely. This has now left the event and one of the most influential names in professional wrestling and sports entertainment without an opponent, leading to rampart speculations on who would face Flair. Former WWE star Brian Blair, who was one of half of the tag team combination, the Killer Bees, back in the 1980s, allegedly has spoiled the fact that it will most likely be Hulk Hogan to face off against Flair and taking the spot of the Dragon.
Jeez.
Let's post that. We'll put it on the wall.
Well, I think
Wrestling Edge put that out.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, so the funny thing about all this is that so Ric Flair holds the record for 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. That's the record. 16-time Ric Flair holds it, which means that in order to break the record, you got to hit 17 World Championships. And there's somebody tied with him at 16, and that person is John Cena. So the next title John Cena wins, he's at number 17. He's the record holder. Well, the Hulk Hogan thing's very interesting. When you think about Ric Flair, they're both, they both have to be in their 70s, and they're probably feeling like, they got to do something, because it was at WrestleMania just in April in Dallas, where 76-year-old Vince McMahon, took the shirt off and got in the ring and had one last match. And if you saw that, McMahon didn't really fall on his back that much. And I would guess that's probably going to be a similar situation for these guys. But they're probably jealous, and they're jealous of Vince looking so good at that age, and they figure, man, he wasn't even the wrestler. He was the promoter and the announcer. He's wrestling at 76 and we're not, So should be fun. I think they're doing that in Nashville, right?
Well, tell them about, first we have we had the mystery guest 2:30 was we had the biggest night on television 3:13. The bullet hit JFK's head at frame 313, the Zapruder film. The boys are back in town 2:30. We had Ric Flair's last match 192, anointed president 192, and we had Ric Flair the Nature Boy 2:30. So the boys are back in town 2:30. The mystery guest 2:30. 23, 23, 23, 69, checkmate 69. We are Q69. So it's going to get interesting quick. It's all tied into what's going on, I'm sure. Some of it will be probably after the event, but it should be entertaining at the rope opera.
Yeah, and actually there's some more wrestlers involved, so maybe there's some coding there, but because it's going to be a tag team match from what I understand. So Ric Flair is going to have a team, and the name of that team is called FTR. And the other team that's going to be against Ric Flair and whoever their partner is, if it's Hulk Hogan, then that team is called the Rock and Roll Express. Not N. So you have FTR and Ric Flair versus the Rock and Roll Express.
Okay, so you have FTR, the Rock and Roll Express 301, the Storm Star on the 301st day of the year. FTR is Hope. Get rid of FTR. FTR is 47 or 44, which is Hope, and the Rock and Roll Express is 257. Greatest Joker comeback ever, 257, which we had earlier. JFK is the Miracle of the Sun, 257. Greatest Joker comeback ever. Greatest Joker comeback ever, 257. So nothing's really going on, just a bunch of fake stuff.
Exactly. There's nothing happening, nothing's happening.
No, just 30-year-old videos of Vince McMahon unmasking himself as Sonny Bono coming to light. I mean, nothing's happening.
Sonny Bono is 133, which is 48, or Everything, or God Bless America, or Michael Flynn, or Rigged Election 133, Nancy Pelosi 133. Election Fraud 133, Nancy Pelosi 133.
Speaking of Nancy Pelosi, her husband got arrested for DUI.
Yeah, DUI there in
in Napa.
Is it in Idaho?
I thought it was in Napa.
Yeah, I thought Napa's Idaho, Napa, California.
Yeah. Napa Valley wine.
Oh, California. Okay, it sounds better. California.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you never know. There's a lot of rich places. The Bob's, they have a place with a copper roof on it over there in Hamilton, Montana.
Oh, in Montana? I thought you said Idaho.
Well, Hamilton, Montana, down into Idaho City. That strip of road, land, whatever. There's a lot of billionaires that have a lot of houses in that range. Idaho doesn't have that great a population, but according to it has the most billionaires per capita because they all have summer places there. So I guess they count it that way. I don't know how they count it, but there's a lot of mega mansions in that part of Idaho, north of Boise City, Idaho City. Going up into Hamilton, Montana.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, not to digress, but Newsom got COVID. Feinstein's husband died, and now Pelosi's husband is in trouble. So, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, Newsom gone a long time ago. They're just bringing out the COVID story now.
Right.
Kind of like the quadruple vaccinated Kamala Harris had to go into quarantine after her latest. That was, a couple weeks ago, but quadruple people wake up. the best healthcare in the world. You got to be quadruple vaccinated, but you still got sick.
Hey, you think we could go back a little bit back to JFK and his birthday and his birthplace, or at least
Absolutely.
the story?
Yeah, let's stay
the
focused.
story, the story birthplace.
Yes.
Which is Boston, and Negative. We were talking a little while ago about the Boston Red Sox, but I did a little research, and Fenway Park opened up 5 years before JFK's birthday in 1917. It opened up in 1912. April 20th was the first game against the New York Highlanders. And check this out. 27,000 fans were in attendance. So you got 27 JFK. It was against the New York Highlanders, who I believe they became the Yankees. And here's the best part of the story. Not only is his story birthplace 83 Beale Street, which I mentioned earlier, it's right down the road from Fenway Park, where they built Fenway Park. But the mayor of Boston at the time was a man called John F. Fitzgerald. And he had a nickname called the Honey Fitz. And he was the mayor of Boston, and he threw the first pitch out at Fenway Park, the first pitch ever. And that was the father of Rose Elizabeth, which was the spouse of Joseph Kennedy, JFK's
fantastic
story dad.
Wow.
Well, it gets better. They had the reverse of the curse. Remember, Andrew?
Yeah, and actually, if we could pull that up, it's funny. Maybe you could shed some light on this. So there used to be a sign in Boston, and growing up as a kid, I would always see it, and it was kind of historic, but it was a street sign, and it said reverse curve. And the color of the sign is Tiffany blue. It's practically Tiffany blue. And so this would hang above the overpass on this road, Sturrow Drive, which would hug the Charles River on the Boston side of the Charles River. So on the other side of the Charles River, you have Cambridge. So what's in Cambridge? You have MIT. That's where John Trump was. You had Harvard. That's where JFK was, right? So Sturrow Drive is opposite of Cambridge on the Boston side, and you have that overpass with the reverse curve. And the Red Sox hadn't won a world championship since 1918, the year after JFK was born, and he, they called it the curse, right? So. The curse. Well, we talk about the Kennedy curse. How many times have you heard the Kennedy curse,
yeah, the
right?
Kennedy curse. Absolutely.
And actually, if you take a look at the 4VKM video, Let's Go to Dallas, Brandon, that shows all the media losing their mind about -48 and the crew showing up in Dallas and getting loud. I actually used that scene from Fenway or from Sturrow Drive that reversed the curse, because that's almost when you see that queue that was formed on, the grassy area there at where JFK was shot. That was a form of reversing the curse. And by the way, there's an overpass right there in front of where you guys did that queue, and that overpass looks just like the overpass that's on Sturrow Drive. So now the Red Sox finally win the World Championship in 2004, and it was 86 years, and the curse was lifted. The curse was reversed, and Mitt Romney was the governor of – there it is. Boom. Mitt Romney was the governor of Massachusetts. And, he was getting a lot of crap for it from the local Democrats because I think they shut the road down that day. But they took the sign down. So there's this big ceremony of Mitt Romney taking the reverse the curse sign down. So it's funny.
So I want to say a few things there. Reverse curve 161, President QQQ 161. Reverse the curse 191, all roads to lead to Q 191. Excellent POTUS 191. The triple underpass is at the top of the Daley Plaza pyramid because the three roads that come together at the top where the triple underpass are, they spread out. They're covered. They're over 2 blocks on Houston Street. So Houston, we have a problem. Nightmare on Elm Street. And if you go to the top of the pyramid in Daley Plaza and you go up against the bridge there, you'll see the bridge was made in 1934, and 19 is 10, and 34 is 7. 3 and 4 is 7. So it's 107 Superman. But you also have a height clearance on 2 of the triple underpass. You don't have one on the Commerce Street because it's a one-way. So the middle one, Main Street, it says 14 feet 0 inches, and 140 is, well, POTUS yes. And if you go over to the right on where Elm Street comes down, is 13 feet 5 inches, which is real divine. So if you add those two together, you have 275, which is red tie, JFK Grace. And so the bridge itself says Q, JFK Grace. And if you do turn around, right there at the top of the tip of the grass, you go all the way to the bridge where you stand on the concrete. You're looking at the bridge. Turn around, look back at the 6th floor window, and over the top of the building, you'll see a building was built behind there. And the only part of it you can see is the very top, which is in the shape of a pyramid, because they always have to build a pyramid where they kill somebody. And so not only was it on the right side of the pyramid where they killed him as he came down Elm Street, but if you go to the top of the Daley Plaza pyramid, which is the all-seeing eye, then you can see. And what you see when you look back towards 501 Elm Street, because there's a big, giant, huge 501 on the building, which is 51 Michael, or Think Mirror Savior 105. You have over the top of that building, you have this big pyramid. It's the top of another building. They built back blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks behind it. It's just a real tall building. And the only part of that building you can see is the top of it, which is a pyramid. And nobody in Dallas gives that tour because they're all telling you lies. They never tell you the truth. So nobody in Dallas that gives all those tours. Yeah, we're going to put a picture from the top of the bridge on the triple overpass. You can still see it from down below, but we're going to put a picture of that pyramid here from Daley Plaza, and you can see how Daley Plaza is a pyramid. And the main street in the middle and the one on the left have signs on the bridge as you go to the top, but the one on the right doesn't because it's a one-way going the other direction. So you just have the 2 clearances, the 14 feet 0 inches and the 13 feet 5 inches, and 140 and 135 is, well, 275, which is JFK Grace, red tie. Oh, yeah, here's another picture we're going to send of the clearances. We have a picture of the bridge from when we were there, and we're going to download it here shortly. So there's all kinds of signs and communication and here in Dallas that just reconfirm what we've been saying. And again, the reason my channel's off, or channel was turned off, is because people didn't believe in me or didn't believe in gematria, and they decided to leave. And well, they can't get, once you leave, you can't get back on. I shut it off back in November. And now the Sacred Blue Tent's bigger than my channel. That's excellent.
Not anymore.
What, you went down?
Yeah, we went down. Something's going on. I wonder what.
Go up. Nobody can join mine. How can you pass me? Everybody can join your channel.
I don't know. I think there's something funny's going on. We can talk about it after the show.
If you throw 8 O's in, because O is 15 and 8 is 8 and 15 is 23. I am. If you throw 8 O's in the word loser, you get to 174. Trust the plan 174. Loser. I'm winning. You're losing.
You are the champion, Negative. I will always remember that. I know my place.
I already told you you're going to be the biggest. I already said you were going to be the biggest channel on Telegram. That means I'm going to lose.
We'll see when it happens.
Well,
you're always going to be our mentor. Nobody can beat you.
I said that the guy coming to your channel, he's going to beat me.
Who's next?
Exactly. Who is next?
Who?
It's a JFK Grace outlet. Remember?
Oh my goodness! So the boss, huh?
Yeah, that's what John said. The Sacred Blue Tent. It's a news outlet. Sacred Blue, it's a JFK Grace outlet, which means he's going to tell people the truth from your channel.
Wow. Okay, get the popcorn, folks.
Well,
you said who's next? That was Goldberg's catchphrase.
Goldberg.
He'd beat him, and then he'd say, "Who's next?"
Fantastic. Hey, Andrew, what's your take on do you ever watch the Mexican wrestling matches that they wear those masks,
I don't watch it I don't follow it too much, but I've seen it. I like
it's kind of funny. It's funny.
It is. Yeah, it's different. It's a totally different genre to a degree as to what we have in the United States. So it's, wrestling is a universal language. That's why I absolutely love it. I think about when, Trump went over to Saudi Arabia, he danced with the sword. He took the sword and he did the sword dance, and we all knew who was in control at that point, over there at least. And shortly after that, Vince McMahon signed a 10-year, multi-billion-dollar deal with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which was going to do events over there for the next 10 years and also promote a more progressive, as they like to call it, Saudi Arabia. So, it started off where when WWE started the deal in Saudi Arabia at the time, this happened when MBS took over. So MBS took over. MBS was a big wrestling fan as a kid, right? So he gets this deal after Trump leaves. Shortly after, he gets this deal with Vince done. And so the first show they do, there's not any women allowed on the show. And but it was the first sporting event in the kingdom in a very long time where women could attend. So it was the first time that women could attend a sporting event in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in years, right? So then it progressed to, the next time they went out there, now they're going to break another barrier and women are going to compete. And then, they had the first women's match over in Saudi Arabia. And now that they go back there, it's more commonplace. You see, you've seen the evolution right in front of it. But going back to it being a universal language, you know, it's good versus evil. When I was watching that first show in Saudi Arabia, I got emotional because at the beginning, you know, they started off with the Saudi national anthem, and then afterwards they did the United States national anthem, and the entire arena went red, white, and blue. And that to me was, you know, that was like closure in a way for a lot of things, because it showed who controlled Saudi Arabia. And, you know, they had a tournament, and going back to, you know, the women's evolution, they had a girl, a tournament. It's called the Queen of the Ring tournament, and it was going to culminate in Saudi Arabia. And the woman that won, her name was Zelina Vega. And her story is that she actually lost her father in the towers on 9/11. So she went over to Saudi Arabia and broke those barriers and won Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. And I just thought that it was like poetic justice. Now, granted, you know, we don't really know exactly. Well, I'm sure negative will tell us, but, you know, we know about the Saudi connections, at least alleged, with 9/11. So the fact that we were kind of in control of that, and then, you know, making some progress there. When you see kids in the crowd, when you see women in the crowd that didn't get to be there before, enjoying wrestling like I enjoy wrestling, you know, all of the past anger and hatred that I had for a country because the mainstream media told me, and really the mainstream media didn't even tell you about Saudi Arabia, right? We just figured it out. But, you know, I realized it wasn't the people of Saudi Arabia. The people of Saudi Arabia are just like us, just like the people of Russia are just like us, just like the people of China are just like us, right? We just have had shitty leaders everywhere that, you know, made us not like each other. But wrestling can unite the world in a way. Japan has its own style of wrestling, different to the United States. You started with Mexico, completely different, right? But they all tell the same story, which is good versus evil.
Lucha Libre.
Oh, we lost you.
Oh, can you hear me now? I was just saying that was called the Lucha Libre in Mexico. And then I was just looking up Putin, who is into Sambo and judo wrestling. So a little bit different art form.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we are, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, and the last thing is that outside the news, professional wrestling is the longest standing genre of television that exists. It's been around since the dawn of television, and the only other genre that can say that is the fake news. So isn't that ironic?
That is. So I want to thank you guys. I wanted to open up some mics and let people offer their best wishes. If the two of you are done, I don't want to infringe on your time. If there's anything else you want to add.
Well, the who's next comes to 128. And that's when the storm started on 10/28. Trump walked off the golf course on January 28th and said, we haven't finished yet, 222. It's never going to end 222. And he, the last cue drop was on 12/8. And of course, at the wrestling match we went to at WrestleMania 140, POTUS 140, 38 149, the Anointed One 149. At that wrestling event, Johnny Knoxville, which is really just kind of a, you know, YouTube, you know, reality, you know, just goofball star. He ended up winning his match with a big giant mouse trap, 128. So who's next? 128.
That's a perfect segue for the first caller.
Love it.
It is. Who's next? -48.
Who's next? So
223.
I know. Ideally, would love it if when we open the mics of whoever's got their hands raised, if you could offer your best wishes to President Kennedy. If you have a question, that's okay. But let's try to focus and let's stay at 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll go from there. So let me open Deep in the Rabbit Hole. Is there anything you'd like to add? Deep in the Rabbit Hole? Nope. All right, let's go with Jan.
Say open about 5 of them. Somebody will go.
Yeah.
Because when you do one at a time.
I'm having Abigail, you want to help me open some of these? For some reason, they're not. Sometimes they get stuck. What is going on?
I can't see them.
I've got about 4. That's all I can see. There's another one that just opened. If your mic's open and you have a question, or if you want to give best wishes, feel free.
I thought we were going to have Sturdy talk a little bit.
Oh, Sturdy?
I'm here.
Let us, yeah.
What's up,
Yes.
Sturdy?
Oh,
31.
I'm enjoying so much the program, and I do want to wish our dear president a very, very happy birthday and many years to come. I'm very proud to be able to do this, and I hope he's listening. I'm very proud to be part of this movement. And once again, a very, very dear happy birthday, dear president.
Who you voted for?
Who I voted for, and yes, I did. And afterwards, I voted for President Trump. And then again, I voted for President Trump. And fortunately, I can remember my journey starts long back in 1960, 61, 2, and 3. I was fortunate to be able to be there, to be alive and see this Camelot family, which I was very proud of.
Yes, and Sturdy had the privilege of meeting the professor, right, Sturdy?
Oh, yes, that was a big honor. I was very humble and honored to meet him. I have heard his presentations, and they're all very interesting, and especially at this time with the voting coming very close, it's helping so many people to make up their minds the right way. It was a very enjoyable evening with him, and I was able to have a photo with him too. So that was great.
Well, you know, Sturdy, here it was 5:05 when you started, and Voss is 55. And where you're at, it's 4:05, and they do say he's the 45th president. So 45th president in Gematria, it comes out to everything president. 133 president. It comes to 243, which
That's
is
wonderful.
which is the same as 40 president.
Well, I'd like to once again just wish him and say to him, muchas felicidades ahora y siempre.
You can say it in English, Mom. I don't know if he speaks
Lots
Spanish.
of happiness and health to you forever.
Fantastic. So I open a bunch of mics. Is anyone eager to offer best wishes as well?
I'm in.
Go for it.
This is Reconnect. Michael, I just want to say happy birthday to Mr. President, but to all of you, the Kennedys, whomever you are, wherever you are, as well as the digital soldiers. We've only sacrificed 2 years, but y'all have done it forever. So could you give us any heartwarming story about Mr. President? Maybe how he got to live his life, where he got to live his life. Is it 6 kids he's had total? You know, can you clarify anything? Thank you. And again, happy birthday, Mr. President.
Well, he had more children than people realize, and a lot of other people did that are in the storm because they needed to protect the bloodline. And so, you know, a lot of the truth that, some of the truth that we know, we can't say, and it will come out when it, you know, comes out in the Great Awakening, which is not that far away. And we're all just proud to learn about it, share it, and see it.
And connect how beautiful this is, folks. I mean, I met Michael, a year and a half ago, and just to see how this progression, how this evolution of knowledge, and how the story, I mean, I remember telling him I would research every day and say, oh my God, he's got this chromosome. Does he know? We need to tell him. I think that was hilarious. But I mean, I would just harass you every day with information, right, Negative? It's pretty crazy.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get informed. I love, I mean, a lot of it I can't remember. That's your specialty, and then I have my specialty, and that's why anytime two or more come together, you have magic, And so I can tell you one thing that a lot of people might not know, that when the sperm goes in the egg at the point of conception, which is a cue when when life starts, a blue flash of light takes place. You can see it on the cell when it actually happens in a microscope. It's a blue flash, and so there really is something. When they say 23 is going to bring the pain is 40, blue is 40, BLUE is 40, and so the knowledge that we're going to get on just everything, it's going to be mind-boggling. But there really is something to the Tiffany blue light, and it's looking like in gematria that the Tiffany blue light was not only given at the point of conception, but it was given to JFK on 11/26/1963 at 1:29 p.m. EST.
Can you repeat that?
I said that at 11/26/1963 at 1:29 p.m. EST, it appears, from what I've been finding out in gematria, over and 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 over again, not just one time, that Archangel Michael gave JFK his Tiffany blue light, and that's when he came back to life. So JF in gematria, if you type this in, you got your mic open making paper noise, Sabrina.
Sorry.
If you type in JFK came back on 11/26/1963, it's 1:24 a new beginning. If you add 1:29, the time, it goes to 1:36 Great Awakening 1:36. If you add PM, it goes to 1:65 Resurrection 1:65. If you add EST, it comes to 2:09. JFK is the second coming 2:09. So JFK came back on 11/26/1963, 1:29 p.m. EST 2:09. JFK is the second coming 2:09. And that's the very minute. That's exactly 4 days. And that's what it says on the license plate. GG300. G is 7, G is 7. That's 14. Slide the 3 over from the 300, and because zeros mean nothing. And you have 143, 4 dark days, 143. And when I sent the book, 4 Dark Days in History, to President Trump, he retweeted it. And that means there was 4 dark days. And he also tweeted on 4/6/20 when Q drop 4/6/20 was on the board, because 46 is who and 0 means nothing, so who number 2, but 46 and 2 is 48. And on that day, 4/6/20, he wrote, "There is light at the end of the tunnel, 357." And the only Q drop looks like a 357 is Q drop 1440, which is an upside down gun, and the bullet is dark to light. John Kennedy 125, dark to light 125, and bullet 72, I am alive 72. And so it appears that that's why I was able to figure out the very first time I tried, because I just typed in JFK came back on, and then I just put in the math, and it just came out perfect.
We're going to have to work on that one. That's beautiful.
Well, we can post it and put it up on the -48 wall so you can see it.
Yeah. But just dig in. I mean, we talk about that being, the 4 days of Lazarus, how we've talked about that in the past and how the soul leaves the body. So we've got to put something together about that because it's really beautiful.
When you type it in the way it's typed in, it's 18 letters, 11 words, but 11 goes to 2. So it's 182. And on drop 1082, it says the words, the start. Keypad is 120, second coming 121.
This reminds me a lot of Q drop 703, where it's the prayer, rest in peace, Mr. President, parentheses, JFK. And the thing that sticks out is, patriots have planned, installed, and by the grace of God, activated the beam of light.
You have resurrection 165. It's in your face 165. Anointed winter 165. Christ bloodline 165. Jesus spirit 165. Resurrection 165. He will return 165. It's in your face 165. JFK came back on 1126 1963 129 p.m. EST 209. JFK is the second coming 209. Divine manifestation 209. Blessings of the Lord 209. Kennedys are God's plan 209. Heroes of the Storm 209. Meet the Lord in the air 209. Jesus is the Messiah 209. True prophet of God 209. And remember, they said he was going to come in the clouds. He's coming over our phones. Gematria A is 1, Z is 26, comes to 110, present 110. G plus A plus Z is 34, which is grace. 1 and 26, 27, JFK. The Gematria A is 1, Z is 26 tells you President, grace, JFK.
Okay. Would anyone else like to add a comment or has a
Yes,
question?
I would.
Hi, Peachy. Go ahead.
Hi. This was wonderful. Thank you so much. And I just love learning, but I just want to really take this time to say happy birthday, Mr. President. I have told the people on these channels before, I was 14 years old and I marched in your inauguration parade in Washington. My band was selected from Monroe, Louisiana, and we traveled there. And I'll never forget it was one of the most exciting events of my lifetime. And your top hat and coat that day, it was just majestic. And I was a senior when you passed away or were murdered, and was one of the most devastating days of my life besides losing my own father. So I just, I kept my Christmas tree up this year for so many months, and I finally took it down, I think the end of March, because I decorated it all in Tiffany blue, red, and white in honor of you. And I'm just so thrilled to know that you still live, and what is happening to our world is the most fantastic thing that we could ever imagine. So, Sabrina Gal and all you ladies here, I love you. And Navy 48, what you have brought to me and this world right now is amazing. So, thank you for all the hard work that you've done. And I'm just praying that I can stay well and alive to experience this. I think I've shared with y'all that I I'm in remission for stage 3 lung cancer, and I have lymphoma. But I just got scans done again, and I'm good. I'm really
Yay.
good. So
fantastic, Peachy.
Thank you all. I love you all so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I guarantee you're going to make it. You sound too strong.
Yeah, Peachy, we're not going anywhere.
No, that's what my friends tell me. Even my doctor just said, one of my doctors just said, anybody else would have been gone a long time ago, but you are a true survivor, and I believe that too.
Just
Thank
keep
you.
staying positive and eating well, and CBD, all those good things.
I do
it
all of
works.
those things.
It's helping me. Fantastic. Thank you. Does someone else have a question or comment?
Mr. President?
Sabrina Gal, this is Hope Faith and Healing.
Hope Faith. Let's let.
Hi,
I think
Sabrina.
Maritza.
Can you hear me
came
because
first.
my phone sounds like an echo?
Oh, there you go, Maritza.
Yes, but I don't know if it's an echo. Can you hear me or it's an echo?
No, I think you're okay.
Thank you, Sabrina. Mr. President, I'm coming in front of you very humble and respected with a lot of gratitude to wish you a very, very happy birthday. And I also want to take the opportunity to represent the Dominican Republic. And I'm saying that because when I was little, I remember that in my block, a lot of people came outside crying, and my mother and my father, and I was little, and I did not understand what was going on. And after my mother and my father told me that Kennedy, the president, died, that he was killed, and I did not understand, but since that time, I feel very, very, it was too much for me, and I'm sorry I'm crying now, but my mother and my father would have told me, just talk and don't cry. So this is really a dream that I don't think too many people in this life can really touch it and believe it. This is so amazing, and I really want to come in front of everybody and proclaim that JFK, the Kennedy, is the second coming of Jesus. And again, I a lot of respect, I'm very humble, and I love you a lot, and I love the whole entire Kennedy family and the Trump and all of you. And I never thought that I would be in this. I just love you. God bless you. I pray for the family, for everybody. And this the best years to come yet. Love you.
Thank
Happy
you,
birthday.
Maritza. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Hope, Faith, and Healing. Go ahead. Hope, Faith, and Healing. Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
I'm here with my brothers and sisters, and I know that on behalf of them, they would all want to wish a happy birthday to JFK and a huge thank you for everything he's done for our country and our world. Can we sing happy birthday to President Kennedy, please?
We're gonna do it at the end of the show, all of us. That's why I'm trying to open all the mics.
And also, Sabrina Gal,
So
thank you to all of you guys for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
research and everything that you do. It's incredible, the things that you bring to us.
You're very welcome, and I know everyone from the 10 is grateful for your kindness too. Thank you. And we'll do the happy birthdays at the end. Does someone else have a comment?
I do.
I'd like to. Sorry. Oh, we got too many at once. Sorry, I know. Tassa, go ahead, Tassa.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much, Michael and Sabrina Gal, and all the others that spoke. I really appreciate it, the excitement that we felt. I can say this. I know I'm saying this for so many, that just the moment that Michael had said last week about your upcoming today and honoring our president, JFK, who I want to wish a beautiful, blessed birthday to. And I just was so excited every single day, looking forward to today. My whole week was arranged around today. It's the least I could do to honor you. And as a Canadian, I want to thank you, our president, for coming to Canada. long before we even realized or were taught about it. And on May 17th, 1961, the year of my birth, before I was even born, you came and you spoke at the government and you said, geography has made us neighbors. History has made us friends. Economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies. Those whom nature hath so joined, let no man put asunder. 1742. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming, for putting those words in stone that sits on a stone in front of the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. I know now why that convoy went to Ottawa, because you were there. You are there. You will always be there. And we are your people. And I feel such gratitude and thanks. And I'm humbled because you came here and you're saving us all. And you didn't leave Canada out. And as hard as it's being for us, and as much as we're being through and the truth that has to come out and is coming out, I honor you today and always. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasa. Donna, go ahead, Donna.
Thank you, Sabrina Gal. Yes, I guess we all have the same thing in mind as far as wanting to sing to President, but I'm Eastern Orthodox, and we have another very small song that I would like to sing for President Kennedy. And it's God grant you many years. God grant you many years. God grant you many, 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 many years. And we love you, and thanks is never, ever enough. You have done so much that we just can't even comprehend. We love you, we thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. That was lovely. Oh, goodness, I lost Jan. I think, Jan, you were next.
I'd just like to say happy birthday. And I was in junior high when all that happened. And I can remember how crushed my family was in Michigan. And yet today, many are still asleep there. But I thank you for loving everybody and for all that you're doing. And you are wrapped in prayers of everyone here and all the people that are true patriots and are awake. And blessings and happy birthday. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have another comment?
Me, I'd love to.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, I can't see your name.
This is Mary. But I would just wish our president, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. President. But I want to just send my blessings to you. Happy birthday to you and your wonderful, wonderful family. Man, we're just going to be so blessed by you and what you've done for our country and our nation and our God, most high God. I just want to send my blessings to you. We dwell in the secret place of the Most High and abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And I thank you for that. And happy birthday to your wonderful, wonderful family. Thank you.
Thank you, indeed. I'm going to take one more comment.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Let's go with Kelly, and then we'll go to Jane. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you. I just wanted to say happy birthday, Mr. President, from Melbourne, Australia.
What are you doing? I'm coming out. Give me. It's over now. I'm gonna get you a pure this week. I'm buying one. I want to.
Please mute your mic if you're. Who's speaking right now? I'm sorry, I got a little lost. from Melbourne, Australia. Was that Lori or Kelly? I'm
No,
sorry.
Kelly. Yes, I just
Okay,
wanted
go
to say
ahead, Kelly.
yes, I just wanted to say happy birthday to Mr. President from all the patriots in Australia, and I hope he's our president in the future. I know Australia's very aligned to the US, so thank you very much for all the sacrifice and being the second coming. It was the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life that I heard from Michael. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelly. That's kind of you. So I want to thank everyone. What President Kennedy and his family have sacrificed to save mankind is unimaginable. So we offer eternal gratitude and thanks for your measurable love. This is for you and your family, our beautiful Clooneys, Lincolns, Pattons, Mussolinis, Trumps, Flints, and Kennedys. Don Quixote de la Mancha was written by Miguel de Cervantes in the 17th century in Spain and told the story of Don Quixote and his trusted ally Sancho Panza, who pursued an impossible quest. Don Quixote was a dreamer, but he was also a doer who fought dragons and he saved the world. He famously said, "Cambiar el mundo, amigo Sánchez, no es locura ni utopia, sino justicia." And what that means is to try to change the world isn't crazy, nor is it just a vision of a utopia. It's simply justice. So here is the impossible dream. And may I say thank you, President Kennedy, for a job well done.
Thank you very much, Sabrina Gal, for all your hard work and your passion on this subject. I get to talk to him all the time because he listens to my phone. I just say whatever I want to say and he hears it. But,
that's kind of you. We were going to play video, though, Protzman.
Oh, good.
You're so funny.
Well, hit it then.
We got a song coming. I'm going to break out and sing if we don't play the video.
Quest? What does that mean, quest? It is the mission of each true knight. His duty, nay, his privilege, to dream the impossible dream. To fight the unbeatable foe. To bear with unbearable sorrow. To run where the brave dare not go. To right the unrightable wrong. To love pure and chaste from afar. To try when your arms are too weary. To reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I lay to my rest, and the world will be better for me. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for the heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this. That one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
So it was either the video or me singing, so we chose the video. So one last note. The problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by obvious realities. We need men who can dream of things that never were and ask, why not? John Fitzgerald Kennedy. So now, those of you that do have your mics open, if we can join together in song and wish President Kennedy a happy birthday. Brotzman, do you want to start it?
Just give me a second here.
So everybody, your mics should be open. Just go ahead and open your mics, and Brotzman will lead us.
Uh-oh, we might have...
What, though? Are we going to have two toes? This may not work. Abba girl, what do you think? Is it going to be a nightmare? Okay, we'll just give it a shot. We'll lower the volume so we don't blast JFK's ears with it. Okay, hit it, Brotzman.
Happy birthday
to you.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
I love you.
God bless you, Mr. President. We love you. God bless you, Mr. President. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you.
President.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Happy birthday.
Happy
God bless you, sir.
Happy birthday from France and England.
Love you.
President.
Brotzman, do you want to add anything?
God bless you, President Kennedy.
Happy birthday from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Beautiful.
Casper.
Doesn't know where he is.
I got to make a mistake on record at least once.
God bless you, Michael.
Sabrina and Abba, you guys are great. Thank you.
My invitation to Joe Biden.
I love it.
Love you, Michael.
Thank you, Negative.
Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Sabrina Gal.
Thank you, Abba.
Thanks for coming. And Sabrina Gal, thank you so much.
I love you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you, Blue Tent. Everybody.
God bless, Michael.
President Kennedy, from my family here and before. Happy birthday.
So Negative, you'll let him know, right?
I'm sure he's listening, but
is he really?
Well, he knows what's going on my phone anyway. Happy birthday to Mr. President, and thank you to all the admins who helped put on this show.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It was great fun. And like I said, it's just an honor for all of us. We were born for a time such as this.
Now,
We're
if we
blessed.
could just get Andrew to pull his head out and come up with something solid.
Something solid. What? I haven't, nothing solid
He's going
yet.
to Mexico and he's going to check out the Mexican wrestlers next.
Yeah.
It'll be the Lucha Libre. You and him are going to go to Tijuana.
That ought to be a shit show.
Absolutely. I'm not going with you to that one.
You're just trying to go. You're just trying to go to the Mango deck.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Cabo. When is that going to happen?
Who knows?
Well, thank you, everyone. I think that was a beautiful show. And I think if President Kennedy did not listen, I'm sure I'll put the recording up as soon as possible and you can watch it tonight with a martini.
Yay. God bless you all. And a margarita.
Maybe he'll watch it with our FLOTUS.
With our FLOTUS, yes.
Oh my God.
Dance together soon.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful Sunday and a very happy Memorial Day tomorrow. Enjoy your day off. Rest.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Gal.
God bless our
Thank
military.
you.
God bless
everyone.
America.
President.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Thank you.
Everyone.
I love you all.
All those who have fought and died for this beautiful country. That's what Memorial Day is for. So everybody who has played a part that's on this line, veterans near and far, and those who have passed. As they say, some gave some and some gave all. God bless you all, and thanks is never enough.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. We love you.
Happy birthday, I love you.
God bless you, President Kennedy.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.